Hi, BED 625 classmates. My name is Nate Schmidt, and I am the facilitator this week for module number 14. My question for this week is, should 912 or K-12, whichever way you want to look at it, make computer science mandatory? So, personally, this has been quite the journey or experience for me. I originally started off as a tech ed teacher. I thought I was always going to be a woods and metals teacher, and slowly what ended up happening was by getting different jobs in different settings, um, I became a tech and engineering teacher, really based within PLTW. And once that program grew, my current teaching position said we would really like to open up and expand a computer science pathway at the high school. They were dabbling with it a little bit at the middle school level. They implemented a couple lessons of it at the elementary level. And so what ended up taking place was that 3 years ago, I went through and went through the PLTW training for computer science principles. And what ended up taking place was that I really, really enjoyed the course. We started running as an AP course. And then they said if you would like to continue on, we would support you with materials to learn about how to get your computer science license. I went through the process, studied, did a whole bunch of research on my own, ended up passing the praxis, which is required in the state of Wisconsin, and became a licensed computer science teacher. So what we ended up seeing was in my current district, we saw a shift from computer science being really set within math courses. And slowly, as people within the math courses said, this really isn't for me, it got kicked out to CTE courses. And what ended up taking place within those CTE courses was that we were always looking for ways to expand upon it. We started coming up with items such as direct career pathways. And then we started coming up with, okay, how can we also use this so that when students leave our building, that they're going to be able to take this either to college with them or in a career setting. So what ended up taking place was that we dug a little bit deeper within the engineering academy that I teach within. And what we found out was that if students pass certain courses within computer science or IT strands, we can get what's called tech incentive grants. And tech incentive grants are when a student graduates from the high school level, when they walk across that stage, however many tech incentive grants that they have, and this could include things along the lines of ASC certifications or Autodesk Inventor certifications, that $1,000 roughly would be kicked back to our school district per that student per certification. So you could have a student have 4 ASC certifications when they graduated that they could come back to us. So my main question is, now that CTE courses computer science is starting to be implemented more in the CTE strand, I want to know what are your thoughts as you pertain to it, whether it's in business, tech ed, FACE, things along those lines. So what I did for you was I also looked up 2 different articles or points of view on computer science. Now, one of them was written in 2014, so it's a little bit dated, but at the same time, I think some of the concepts and the questions that it raised within are very, very good. So the first one that I posted is 5 reasons why computer science should be mandated in high schools. And throughout this, they talk about really, really good conceptual skills that are going to be good for students, but also that could be used for everything else afterwards. So here are some of the main highlights of it. They say it's improved problem solving skills. And I see this within my students, that when they go through, they have to be very attentive to details, and they have to make sure that they're paying extra attention to what they're actually typing for the programs. And best part of it all is that they're using more resources besides just me. It has a balanced STEM participation. I have students that are male, female, low socioeconomic status, high socioeconomic status, all different backgrounds that want to participate in computer science and programming and do very, very well with it. When we look at it, they have better career opportunities, and at the same time, they have the ability to compete in a global market. So when we look at that, computer science and programming is implemented and infiltrated nearly every single part of our lives. Every day we use computer science and programming within cell phones or different programs that we use on the computer. And finally, We look at great earning potential. A student that comes out with a computer science or an IT certification or a degree has that ability to start making that money right away. Now, the second article, it says the dangers of requiring computer science in a K-12 school system. And this really brings up a lot of good points. The author's not really bashing computer science as a whole, but what they're doing is that they're raising some concerns saying, what would be the best way to implement this? And so when they look at a couple of factors I look at is where are we going to, or within the article that I've read is where are we going to get these computer science teachers? I don't know if there's actually a program out there that says if you want to go into tech ed or if you want to go into computer science ed, not really get a computer science degree. We currently have a teacher within our district who's computer science that she has the degree. And when we asked why did you go into teaching with it, she said because teaching allows her to have a better family life, work balance family life, and her husband's a pilot. So at the same time, she said, I didn't need all the income, but I can go ahead and teach it. Versus if you look at somebody where if they're going to use it for really their whole financial gain or financial monetary amount for the family, that could be a little bit different. And also it says, what curriculum are we going to use? What classifies as computer science really? And this really raised up some good points because some people said, well, if we start teaching students things like Microsoft Office, that should count for computer science. And some people said, no, we should only be able to teach things like programming, like web design, or be able to go ahead and understand how a Python program runs. And some people say IT because IT has some of the biggest potential upswing for putting in data and networks and cables, and you're able to make the most money the quickest. So my question for you is, should computer science be mandatory? And they can go within a business degree, it can go within tech ed classes, it can go within a lot of different perspectives. Okay, so that's my question for you this week. I look forward to your responses and kind of the ways that you want to go ahead and take it. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.